Back now at 8:21 with never-before-seen photos of Ted Kennedy. They are featured in an upcoming book by Time magazine, Ted Kennedy, A Tribute. The Lion of the Senate will be remembered for his 46 years in public office, but at his core, Senator Kennedy liked to be known as a family man.
I owe a special debt to the man his nephews and nieces call Teddy, not just because of what he means to me personally, but because of the causes he has carried on.
Whether he's teaching us about sailing, about the Senate, or about life, he has shown us how to chart our course, take the helm, and sail against the wind.
Edward Moore Kennedy was the anchor of the Kennedy clan, a job he ascended to when family tragedy forced him to take the helm.
Teddy was a surrogate father to me and 29 of my cousins, 10 of my brothers and sisters.
From the tragic and very public deaths of his brothers to the normal family triumphs and celebrations to the unexpected, Ted Kennedy didn't forget that family came first.
To introduce my four strongest supporters.
Despite the failure of his first marriage,
this is the big-time real thing.
He found love again.
I realized that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her.
And he did. Vicky, his children, and other family members were there to say goodbye to the man known to us as Senator Kennedy, but to them simply as Teddy. NBC News contributor Neil Swidey is the co-author of The Last Line, The Fall and Rise of Ted Kennedy. He's along with NBC News analyst and presidential historian Doris Kearns-Goodwin, who is a Kennedy family friend. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Neil.
Good morning.
And good morning to you, Doris. But first, let's start with you, Neil. He was the baby of the family, and he was also in the shadow in his own family.
He was, and he found to distinguish himself, the only thing he could do with these brothers who shone so bright was to be the family jester, the fun-loving Ted Kennedy.
And yet he rose to be the patriarch, Doris, taking all of these children on camping trips and to battlefields and teaching them to sail, as the Boston Globe is reporting this morning.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they said he was the caboose of the family, but he became the engine, the youngest brother who became the big cheese, as they like to call him. And you think about balancing the responsibilities to his own children with the responsibilities to the children of the brothers and sisters that had died. And it's amazing when you imagine even 12-year-old Teddy Jr. is in hospital with bone cancer. He has to leave the bed to go and give away Kathleen Kennedy at her wedding and come back and then be with his own son. I mean, the kids felt they could call him at any time in the world. I think Jackie Kennedy said it best in a letter that she wrote to him at the time of Caroline's wedding, where she said, "On you, the youngest carefree brother, fell a burden that no hero would beg to be spared. Lost children, desolate wives, and sick parents." I think that says it better than any of us could.
And yet he did face his own demons, as we've all been hearing about. What do you think, having looked at all of this, allowed him to rise past these restrictions upon him to greatness?
I think, he learned from his father both great affection and great discipline. And when the role of being the patriarch fell on his shoulders at 36 years old for this big, sprawling family, he first could handle the affection part. It was the discipline part that he struggled with. Ultimately, I think, as he seasoned and matured and then married Vicky, she helped recenter him and come back to understanding that he could do the affection if he handled the discipline in his own life.
There's a fantastic story, a really sad and poignant one, where it was soon after John Jr. was found to be lost, and Teddy came back and played with Caroline's, his sister's, children, because he could feel that they need a little something, and there he was outside shirtless, and this is being reported in the Boston Globe.
Yes, he understands social intelligence. He understood people, and that's something he got even better than his brothers. He got how to connect with people.
All right, Neil, thanks so much. And Doris Kearns-Goodwin, thank you so much, and best to you today. More after this.